Coming back on a pod, we're gonna be talking about Portugal and Mexico. What did you think about that game?
Portugal, Mexico. It was the unfriendly game between Mexico and Portugal. If you saw that game, it was intense. Oh my God, Mexico's always like that. Like they're always fighting with other people, other countries. But surprisingly, Mexico's defense was pretty good. Their midfield was pretty good. Um,
Who do they have in the defense?
Cesar Montes, they have up there. They have
Who else?
Cesar
Who else do they have?
Montes. I forgot the guy's names now, but they played good
I thought you
defense.
did your research this time.
No, I didn't do my research.
Yes, you watch
I
highlights.
watched the highlights just to kind of like remember because I did watch the whole game. Did you watch the whole game?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Bad ads, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's just insane. You know the way we're having to watch games these days. We're watching the game between Mexico Portugal, and then you have this big old tequila popping up on your screen, and it covers about almost half of the screen, and they start singing Cielito Lindo and mariachi, which I love mariachi. I love Cielito Lindo, but I don't want to hear it when I'm watching a football game. They also had another commercial where they had, or an ad, like you
Was it
call
with
it.
Memo Ochoa?
It was actually Memo Ochoa. Also another tequila bottle, I believe. And, he's flying across the screen, which I love Memo Ochoa, but I don't want to see him during the game, especially because they shrunk the game on a little screen, and then the rest was like a big Memo Ochoa just flying across. So that was the only downside of that game. But the scary part is just that they played this Portugal team that you started out with Nuno Mendes. You had who's the guy that plays for City? Mateus Nunez. You had the captain, Bruno Fernandes in the middle. You had Jao Felix. You had Francisco Conceição. And you're like, wow, that's a pretty good national team right there. But that was only the first half. Second half, you have Joao Cancelo, you have Pedro Neto, you have Vitinha, Joao Neves. Oh, the first half, you also had Theo Hernandez, or either the first or
Theo
second half.
Hernandez, I'm pretty sure is from France, by the way.
That's right. I, I guess we didn't see Rafa Leao then.
He's injured.
That's what I was thinking of, but I guess we didn't see him. So what did you think of the game? Because I thought it was a really good game, high intensity. It did not feel like a friendly. Portugal looked a little bit better offensively, but Mexico had a good midfield and a good defense.
Well, Mexico, I think they're they had more chances that they should have taken. They had a bunch of chances that they missed. For example, that one kid that came off the bench that plays for Chivas, I'm pretty sure,
Armando Gonzalez, yeah.
Armando Gonzalez. When he came on, everybody was hyping him up and everything. And in the first 5 minutes, he a beautiful cross by one of the Mexican midfielders, I believe, or the winger.
It was Quinones, so that play was started by uh, who I think played really good was number 25. They call him El Piojo. He played really well. I think he had a little back heel to Quinones, and then Quinones centered it. And Armando had, I mean, it should have been a goal. He had the header. He had him and the goalie between him, and he just hit it out of bounds. He like slipped it off of his forehead, so it should have been in the goal. And I think that was Mexico's best chance of scoring. But
What did you think of when Joao Felix, when he hit the ball and it went barely over it?
oh yeah, yeah.
That shot. What do you think about that shot? Because that shot, it seemed pretty. It was a weird shot, but it's still like it almost did the job for
Was it a little
Portugal.
volley? I can't remember. I do remember it going, or was
It
it
was
a high strike?
it was like a volley kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see that. I mean, they're a stacked team. They're gonna have opportunities to score, but the big question mark going into this game was also the goalie for Mexico, right? Who was supposed to be the goalie for Mexico that didn't? that didn't play.
I forgot his name, but he got an ACL tear, so that's why he won't be for playing for Mexico in the national team
So they're gonna
for
have
the
to.
World Cup.
So they're gonna have to pull Ochoa from that commercial and pull
Yep,
him in and have
he
him.
was on the bench. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
Oh, so
Ochoa
he was
was on the
doing
bench.
double duty. He was doing a commercial with tequila, and he was also on the
Yeah,
bench
he had
watching
to
the
fly
game.
to the bar real quick.
He had his. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Memo Ochoa. He's like 48 years old, but I think
He's
he's.
barely 40. He's
He,
not
I feel like he's been playing for 30 years.
because
He's
he's been in 4 World Cups, I think.
he's
So no, this year would be 5, which would be 20 years of just in the World Cup.
Yeah, he is the new El Brody. If you people don't remember, El Brody was God, now I can't remember his real name. But it was the goalie from Mexico for many, many years. The guy was like 5'7".
Campos.
Jorge Campos, El Brody Jorge Campos, yeah. So he was the guy. I mean, you love watching that guy. He can stop penalties. I mean, I did not remember, even though I watched Mexico a lot back then. But you said he even played forward for striker for a couple of times, and he actually
Yep,
scored.
pretty sure he has. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was 30 goals for Mexico, which is crazy to think because both of the positions of being a forward and a goalkeeper are
30
opposite.
goals? That's a lot of goals. If you would have said, well, Jorge Campos has 3 goals in his career, I'd be like, all right, well, maybe at the end of the game, towards when they always make the goalie come up and try to score on that last corner of the last second. But 30 goals, that's a lot of goals. That's like a defender, a midfielder sometimes will have 30 goals in their career. So
Maybe
that's
not in
pretty
the
crazy.
career, but like in 3 seasons.
Well, it depends. There's people that are really good, but they don't score. They're really good defensively. They can do a lot of things. They can move the game. They can open the field, but they can't score.
By the way,
So
what did you think of Pedro Neto fighting
oh, better.
with one of the Mexicans?
Oh,
What did you think about that?
well, like I said, it's Mexico. They're always feisty, which is I love that about them, and at the same time I don't, because I feel like sometimes that takes away from their game. Like I feel they lose a lot by fighting, by just doing that stuff that I I didn't see a lot when they got into it. I mean, you can't really say that because Pedro Neto grabbed him from his head and pulled him down. So, and the funny part I was going to tell you is that Pedro Neto, when he plays for Chelsea in the Premier League, he looks small. So it's like Pedro Neto, I would never see him as a guy that would be fighting out on the field. But he's like, oh well, Mexico is short. He looked huge against Mexico. Like he looked stacked. He looked like a full M player out there, like Traore.
Jeez.
Yeah, he looked buff out there. But I love Pedro Neto. He's a great player. But
People are saying he got it from Liam Delap because Liam Delap is always fighting over there.
oh yeah,
That's what they're saying.
oh, because the lap is now with Chelsea. I thought you were talking the national team, but I was like, the lap is not on that national team. But
The joke didn't stick to him, but that's fine. That's fine.
oh, you know what, Jazz? We just talked about the game, for a few minutes here, but we haven't talked about our co-host. Everybody's wondering, did he get fired or did he just walk out on his own?
Hmm. Just like Xavi Alonso.
Just like Xabi Alonso, we
Did he
don't know.
walk out? Did he get fired? What
I don't know.
happened?
I don't know. I think he says he walked out on his own, but I think he got fired.
Well, our new co-host is actually over there
Sitting right
sleeping
there.
currently.
Hey.
No,
Yeah.
leave the co-host alone. They're gonna fire you too.
Now, Chucks actually couldn't make it for today's pod, and he told us, "Why don't you guys do it? You guys are there. You guys got the shirts to do it." By the way, my shirt is and I just want to give a little story here, Jazz. I don't give Mexico a lot of credit. I don't like to watch Mexico, or I say I don't like to watch Mexico because they just piss me off. But um, I was huge. I mean, my first World Cup was in '94. They had a great team. 98 they had a great team. Early 2000s they had a great team. And as time went on, they had a lot of controversies, a lot of politics where managers weren't picking up the players we wanted to see. Like I think back in the day, Carlos Vela, who won under 21 World Cup with Giovanni Dos Santos, he hardly played with the. There was some problems where he didn't play for the national team, so I was mad about that. I was mad about the chant that, thankfully I haven't heard it. When you watch a Mexico game, I've watched the last couple of them. They don't do the chant anymore, but that's more of the fans. And the third thing is that, especially when they play the U.S., they're always fighting. So for those reasons, I'm like, man, let me just watch some European, watch some European football, and I really got into it, got into La Liga and Premier League. But I'm actually hardcore Mexico fan. I really am. This shirt that I have on is one that I bought for the 1998 World Cup, and it has literally been sitting in my closet since 1998. I have not worn it after that, but it's been sitting there. Um, and what I noticed is that the day this game was going on, the Portugal Mexico game, I was rooting for Mexico. Every player on that Portugal team I love. All the big names that play for PSG, City,
Like there's Vitinha, Nuno Mendes,
all those, like,
Joao Felix, Joao Cancelo.
yeah, the list goes on and on. Those are players we watch every week. The Mexico players, I had pretty much no clue who was playing out there.
I mean, there's your striker over
My
there.
dog Raul Jimenez, but he was
Hmm.
so frustrated out there, like they couldn't get him the ball. But I don't know. I was watching the game and I'm like, man, I love all these Portuguese players, but come on, Mexico, I want Mexico to win. And you know, when they brought out Armando Gonzalez and the crowd went crazy, I'm like, Chaz, like who is this guy? Who is this guy they're cheering for? And I've never heard of him because I don't watch Liga MX. You don't watch Liga MX, so you looked it up and you're like, oh, he plays for Chivas, which one of
Great
the
club over there
yeah, one of the
in Liga
biggest clubs
MX.
in Mexico. So I kind of got that fever again, and I know that no matter what I say, if I'm watching Mexico, even if they're playing a Brazil, if they're playing a Spain team, I'll be like, Brazil or Spain will probably win, but I'm gonna be cheering for Mexico. Just
I mean, now you never know with what happened against Portugal. I mean, yeah, first half Portugal didn't have their full squad, but once they did, Portugal did seem dangerous. But you know, the Mexico's defense was really good. They had some good interceptions, good slide tackles. You never know with this team.
yeah, they always play tough, and Mexico always plays with pride, which is what I like. But like I said, a lot of times that gets away from them, and they just start fighting.
Yeah,
And it's like, come on. I mean, you want to see a little scuffle here and there where they're pushing each other, but
but Mexico's like every game,
yeah,
every
every
is
game, it's just gonna be there.
surprised the first team isn't all suspended from
Yeah,
all the fights they get into.
I mean they don't get into fights, but they push.
Yeah,
They're
but too many
always.
too many yellows get you suspended.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna happen. It
After a
might
while,
happen.
it might happen where like there's only the goalie left that isn't suspended. They have to put their second team.
Yeah. The only thing that watching that game that kind of crossed my mind was that the announcer was like, "Oh well, Mexico doesn't have their whole team. They're playing with a lot of players missing." So that's pretty exciting that they tied with Portugal, even though it was a unfriendly, because it was a tough game, and it felt like Mexico played two teams because you had your first half with the team they put out there, which was big names, and then they subbed in like 7 or 8 people. I remember we were watching,
It
and you're
was
like,
6 people to start the
to
second
start the
half.
second half, they subbed out 6 people, and it's all these big names being thrown at you. So
It
it's
was
like,
Joao Cancelo, Vitinha. They brought out all the big guns and stuff. But surprisingly, no Cristiano Ronaldo for this Portugal team. I'm pretty, I'm pretty sure it's because he's injured. I think I'm not positive, but what do you think about Portugal playing without Ronaldo? Like, do you think it's better for them to not have him or to have him?
well, for the fans, I think it sucks because they're playing in the U.S. and you're like, I'm gonna buy a ticket to that Portugal, even though it's a friendly. I might get to see Ronaldo, and for you to pay for that ticket and not see Ronaldo, because I mean he's got millions of fans all around the world. It sucks as a fan, but as a team, I think it's good for the team. I think it's good for Ronaldo because at the end of the day, it's a friendly. They've played together, like you said. They won the Euros against Spain,
Not the
the
Euros,
Nations Cup. God,
Nations
I
League,
keep getting those mixed up. They won the Nations Cup,
Nations League Cup.
Nations League Cup. Yum 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 yum. So he needs the rest. He is old, so he needs to rest. He's not a defender that's just going to be sitting back there waiting for somebody to come and try to score a goal. He's a left wing, and
Striker.
he's a left wing, isn't he?
Not no more.
No. Oh, they
He
have him as a nine now.
he hasn't played left winger forever. When was the last time you saw him
I saw
play?
I saw him playing a white shirt and he was a winger. Like all his
That was
highlights
like
are from the wing.
that
So
was like in 2000,
yeah.
like
Now that you
9.
say that, I remember that Nations League Cup. Yes, he played in the middle and he did
He's been
score.
playing in the middle since Gareth Bale was there.
Yeah, but he's still that. I mean, that's a lot of running that you have to do right there. So I think it was a good decision to rest him. I don't think they're gonna keep him off the national team, but you know, I think it was a good rest.
What else? There's also that the I don't know. You think there's anything else to add
For
from that game
Mexico, not
for
for
both sides? For both sides.
no, no, not for
I
that
mean,
game.
Portugal, their striker. What do you think about the striker? Do you think they could have had somebody better for this striker,
Well, I
or
think they had a Sergio Ramos or some. I think I think they had like a Ramos up there.
yeah, I'm pretty sure his name is Ramos.
Yeah,
What
he
did you
he
think
hit the
about him?
post by the way on.
Yeah, his post.
Yeah, he hit the right post on one of his little volleys. Um, but who's the guy that they have up there? I can't think of their striker.
Well, that doesn't really matter. I mean,
Well, that's what you asked though, right? Like who's their striker?
no, like what did you think about his performance?
Oh, his performance, he was pretty good. I mean, like I said, he almost scored. He hit the post.
Would you
Uh,
put him in the first? Would you put him in the starting lineup and then sub him off for Cristiano Ronaldo if
oh,
he gets
okay. I see
called
what you're
up?
saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think he's good enough to play up there, and it probably would be best. Like I said, Ronaldo is older, so I think coming off the bench might be a good thing. Or you could start Ronaldo and sub this guy in like the 65th minute, not wait too long.
But would Ronaldo like that?
No, of course he's not gonna like it. But as a coach, you're trying to do what's best for your team, and you give the fans what they want. They see Ronaldo for 60 minutes, 65 minutes, and then you take him out, and then you put Sergio Ramos in, or I forgot his name, but I'm pretty sure his last name is Ramos. But yeah, that's what I would do if I was them. For Mexico, like I said, I'm excited because
Because Mora is also injured, by the way, the
yeah,
16,
the 16
17
year
year
old,
old.
yeah. So hopefully he gets back into it because I want to see what he can do in the World Cup stage.
I mean, when he played in that cup where they won, everybody was excited for him, but nobody called him up to a better league and team. Like what do you think that would affect his career?
No, I don't think so. Anytime he plays in any cup, any type of big tournament, it's only gonna be positive for him. It's in a even though if he doesn't do good, he'll get the experience. If he does good, it'll get him the exposure. Do you know who he plays for right now?
No, no, I don't.
No, okay.
Well, our other co-host
Our other
just left.
co-host just left. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go sit over there."
Well, I guess we don't have a host anymore.
Yeah,
So
but going back, Jazz, for more history on Mexico, Mexico is a team to be dealt with. Like I said, late '90s, maybe even late '80s, all the way to the early 2000s.
but thing is, things change. Obviously,
No, yeah, things change. Yeah, new players,
new
new
formation, new
coaches,
coaches, new tactics,
everything.
everything.
But that's what I'm saying.
Do you think these tactics work for Mexico? The ones that they currently have, like the formation and the way they play. Do you think that could be better?
No, I think it's fine. It's Mexico has a style of play. It's a certain style where they like to take care of the ball. They're not like a Man City team that requires possession 75, 80% of the time, but they do love to play possession. They love to take care of the ball. They have decent um decent footwork. They're passing. It's and their movements aren't as great as like a Spain or a France team, but I think they'll compete, and they're at home mostly. They're still in North America. They're gonna play some in Mexico, some U.S., Canada, but we're in our part of the world. So I think they're gonna perform, and I think they'll perform better than I think they're gonna do, or better than what I've given them credit for. But going back, like I said, that those Mexico teams. Did you know Mexico at one point was ranked third in the world?
Third in the world.
In the world, they would be playing like the Gold Cup. I think it was the Gold Cup. They would beat a Brazil team. In the World Cup, they beat an Italy team. Unfortunately, the year that I think it was '98, they beat an Italy team, but they faced the U.S. For some reason, the U.S. has been a problem for Mexico the past 20 years.
There's just something because do you think because the U.S. they haven't really had any big name players besides Pulisic, which not many people talk about anymore. Besides that, you have Johnny from Atletico Madrid, which is a center mid. Besides that, I don't think there's many people you can name on that U.S. team. What do you think the problem is when Mexico faces them? Do you think it's like
Oh,
the
no, no, no.
style
Yeah, it's the style, but it's also because they play each other so much.
that they already
They
know?
already know each other. And my friend who lives in Guadalajara, he was here living back in 1998. Shout out to my buddy Chona, who he's an Atlas fan, by the way, in Mexico. Me and him were watching that World Cup game when Jared Borghetti hit an insane header. Like, somebody passed the ball from mid pitch. He was like close to the outside of the box, running across, and when he jumped and headed it, he like hit it in an opposite direction where it fell to the far post, and they beat Italy. And when that happened, me and my friend Chona were like, "No, like you were supposed to lose to Italy and play the next round." I forgot who they were gonna face, but they ended up beating Italy, so they had to play the bottom team from the next bracket, which was the US. But we knew in our hearts, we're like, no, we don't want them to play the US because they're probably gonna beat them, and they always play them. We don't want to see that game. And of course, that's the first time that the US has ever um, advanced to the quarterfinals, which was good, but I don't think it was that good because it's like, okay, you beat a Mexico team to get there. They ended up losing in the quarterfinal. I don't remember to who, but yeah, that aside from '86, which was the year that they played in Mexico and Mexico got to the quarterfinals, that '98 World Cup was the closest they've been since. They were one win away from getting to the quarterfinals, but they lost to the U.S. So as a fan, it's been frustrating, like I said, going through all the highs and lows for Mexico. But like I said, deep down, I truly am a big Mexico fan, and even though I'm pissed off, and I say they suck and they're not gonna win, every time I watch the game, I'm still rooting for them. I'm like, come on, guys, come on, like prove me wrong. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for Mexico, and hopefully, they have a good World Cup, and maybe I'll wear this shirt a little bit more when we're doing our pods, because it's
Yeah,
like
you had to take off the dust, didn't you?
I did. I had to take off the dust, and it smells pretty good.
I mean, you haven't
I,
worn
I
it.
haven't worn it in like 20 years. Like this is like seriously, I bought this in 1998. I forgot I even had it. I saw it the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I might just bring it out for one of the pods. And I was hoping that Chuck would be here, so he'd be like, "Where did you get that shirt? Like, what is that?" But yeah, Jazz, I got this in 1998, which was in France that year, by the way. And I we got up, like me and my friend Chona, we would get up at 3, 4 in the morning to watch the games, because that's the time that the games were playing. We're at 3, 4 in the morning. So that was my second World Cup, and this will be your first World Cup, and you're going to be able to see all the games because they're all going to be played in North America, and the time zones will be the same as ours. So they'll probably be like 6, 7 o'clock games in the afternoon.
What do you think about the World Cup opening with Mexico and Jamaica playing first game of the World Cup?
Oh, it's going to be exciting. I mean, is it going to be at the Azteca or?
I'm pretty sure it is because I'm pretty sure that's why they reopened it.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's gonna be there.
Yeah, that's going to be. I wish.
By the way, that's the game that was played in 2010 World Cup as well. I think
Mm-hmm. Yep. Was it 2010?
I'm pretty sure it was 2010.
Oh, I don't remember. Glad you remember. But you and your friend Joshua, you guys were like, "Oh, we should go to that first opening game in Mexico City," because his friend Joshua has his uncle's from Mexico City. He lives there. Actually, when I went and visited Mexico City, he's the one who drove us around and like showed us around. And I mean, that place is humongous. It's like another world. You're flying on the plane, and all you look down, all you see is houses. Like you don't see dirt, you don't see grass. It's just houses everywhere. And then you see the tip of the mountain, and like halfway up the mountain, you see like this line where you see houses from the bottom of that mountain, and it looks fake. But there's millions of people that live in Mexico City, but that that stadium is historic. A lot of historic games have happened there, and it would be really nice if we could have gone, but we're not gonna go. But I think it's gonna be epic, and hopefully Mexico wins that game, which they should win against Jamaica.
You never know.
You never know, but I hope they do. Yep.
I think that's it for this pod. And
Yeah. Next pod we will have another. Oh, you know what? Let me just throw this out there. Germany, great game. 2-1 versus Ghana. My boy Semenyo played pretty good for Ghana. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you, Jazz. It's like these are World Cup qualifiers, friendlies, but you get to see who's who of the World Cup. And you know what teams found that out? Brazil found that out with France, because France did the same thing that Portugal and I believe Germany is the other team I'm thinking about. But a lot of these teams are like Mexico. They put their team out there. They had what, like maybe just a couple of substitutions.
hmm
But teams like France, Portugal, and Germany, they'll put a team out there, and you're like, wow, that team's great. And then in the second half, they're like, holy crap, there's a new set of players, and they're all like world class players. So those are the teams to watch in the World Cup. Like you don't want to miss games from those teams that they're high class. They have so many good players that even if they make subs, there's going to be countries where they're going to make subs, and you're like, God, I wonder who that guy is, or where he plays, or is he any good? These guys make a substitution. You're like, oh, okay, this guy plays for that team. He's great.
See, I think that's why we should like watch more of like the lower games, like people like don't really want to watch.
Oh, we do. We watch them.
But like we should like more often because that's where people find the hidden gems in team and find future people.
Yeah, that's what happens in the World Cup. The World Cup is the biggest event in the world. I don't care what anybody says about the Super Bowl, about the World Series. The World Cup is the biggest event in the world. Not even the Olympics. Olympics is another world sport. Every country competes in it.
Participate.
Yeah, but I mean, the Olympics is great. Don't get me wrong. The Olympics are awesome, but World Cup is right there along with it. There's 200 and some countries that uh they try to qualify for the World Cup, and only what 48 make it. So you have 48 countries that are playing in the World Cup, but you have 200 other companies, or 200 total countries that competed to try to make it to this tournament. It's huge, and this is where it's the biggest stage for football. You have guys like James Rodriguez. He showed up for Colombia a couple of World Cups ago, and like we said, Real Madrid came knocking on the door. So I'm really excited to see who is the player or players that are
He
going to
still
get.
he still played, by the way.
Oh yeah, he played for Colombia the other day. Yeah, so he's still playing. He's not at the level he was before, but I'm just saying in the World Cup, this is where people get to be discovered, and this is where they get their contracts, and this is where they get that phone call from that big team that says, "Hey, I want that guy to come play for me because I don't know who he is, but God, he was great in that World Cup." Alrighty, so next pod will probably be about another World Cup game, or maybe I think Premier League
No
back
Premier
next
League.
week.
No, this week. I'm pretty sure was barely the first week, so there's one more week left.
Do we have champions next week or anything else going on?
No, I don't think so.
No.
That happens May 9th. I mean, April 9th, I think.
Okay. So do we have more qualifiers, more
I think there'll be
friendlies?
more
Okay.
qualifiers and friendlies.
Well, maybe we'll be
There's
talking to.
also club friendlies as well.
Oh, those I don't like to watch. But the World Cup friendlies definitely. So next time we'll have Chuck back. He'll come back
Hopefully,
and
maybe he's knocking on the door. He wants to come back. He misses the pod, so
yeah, we'll take you back, Chuck. Just Oh, he got a haircut by the way, because I think that's why he got fired because of his haircut. He didn't get a haircut, so he finally got one. Looks good, so we're happy to have him back. Later, Chuck.